Hello and welcome to day 20 of the coding process. I'm surprised it's already been 20 days. It does not feel like it's been that long. But in today's video, we will be adding power-ups so that we will have a better chance of fighting back against this little enemy right here. At the moment, we just sort of get hit off, but later in the video, we will be adding power-ups that can randomly spawn, and there will be visual indicators that we have activated the power-ups, and I think they're gonna last for like 5 seconds or so. I don't remember, but let me go find out how to add them. Alrighty, so the first thing that we're gonna want to do is, well, add the power-up. We are going to want to, I think it is in physical material, nope, course, and then hiccups, yes. And now, whoa, I pressed the wrong button. And now we can go ahead and look at all these shapes. We got a money sign, a fire icon, a gem, a gold cup, an X, potion, a power icon, a radiation symbol, repair icon, and a star. I want to use the star because that makes sense. Because, like, a superstar from, like, Mario and stuff. I don't know if it's actually called a superstar, but it doesn't matter. Now we're going to go ahead and drag this thing out. Just go ahead and take it to 4 just to make it even. Whoops. At the moment, it is very small. So we will go ahead and size it to 2, 2, 2. That looks like it works. Is it going through the ground? I can't actually tell. It is not. And now we are going to add a box collider to it. Box collider. Make sure it's, yep, that looks fine to me. We're going to want to make sure it's a trigger, so tick that box. Shrink it because I don't care about it anymore. And we're also, actually, we're going to want to rename it to power up, up. And then we are going to want to give it a tag. Add a tag. Press that. And power up. And we are adding a tag so that it is easier to locate, like, in the code. And now we are going to want to give it a prefab. Let's go ahead and shrink this. Now we drag it into our prefabs folder. Original prefab. There we go. And it should be a prefab. Do these look the same? Yeah. Prefab, prefab. Okay. So that's it for now for like that thing. So let me go find out what we need to do next. Alrighty, so now it's time for us to type some code. First thing we are gonna want to do is not that actually. First thing that I'm gonna do is make a public, not game object, public Boolean, and then call it as power power up, and then we are going to set it to be default false, and then we can just go ahead and save that. And now, I'll, I'll I'll explain that in a second. And now we are going to want to another this thing. I think it's called a method. I can't remember. Private void and on trigger enter. Yep, that's what we want. And then we do want to make an if statement. That is what we want. So we'll go ahead and press enter there. But this power-up thing is not what we want. We want if, and then other dot compare tag, and then we do the string tag, which I actually remembered to put these little quotation marks this time for the first time, I think, literally ever. Power up. And now, if you're wondering what that does, this calls the power up, like if we collide with the power up, it is now knowing that it's this power up. Because we need to know that because of this destroy game object. Actually, it needs to be other dot game object because we need the not the ball to be destroyed. We need the power up to be destroyed. Now we need it to also be has power up equals true. And what the has power up does is it shows that when we collide with this power up, it will set to true. When we collide with the power up, it will say, "Hey, you have the power up," and that is how we'll be able to use it. You don't understand what I just said there? Don't worry. I'm not gonna explain it again. Now, if I don't die immediately, when we run into the star, it should disappear. If I am able to. Jeez. Okay. All right. Hit the star. Hit the star. Okay. Now, when we get in here, the star disappears when we hit it. Okay. All I needed. I want this to spin. Give me one moment. Alrighty, so I just looked through the lessons. We are never going to make this spin, and that is probably because the guy chose a gem instead of a star, but I kind of want this to spin around because it's just a flat object, so I want it to spin. So I am actually going to look up really quick how to make an object spin. I know I've already done it, and I'm pretty sure I could probably find it out. Just give me a second. Give me like 5 minutes probably. Alrighty, now if I go ahead and drag this spin power up into the start with I renamed you power up. I renamed you power up. Why are you not power up? Let me up power up. Probably because I never X'd out of it. Alright, override. Override the prefab. How do I do that again? Do not remember how to override the prefabs. I thought I just clicked override. No overrides open. Whatever, it's fine. It doesn't really matter too much what it's named. But if we take the spin power up, put it in here into the power up. It's not in the prefab, but it's fine. This is just a test right now. And I will go ahead and show you the code. I literally just put public float spin speed and then transform, rotate, vector 3, up, spin. I hope it spins the right way and shit. It is not spinning. I may have done something wrong. It is very possible. Oh, I forgot to set a spin speed. Let's just go ahead and set 5. Okay, so it's going to need to be a lot higher than 5. Let's try 50. And hopefully it will spin correctly. I also kind of wanted it to spin the other direction. But that really doesn't matter which direction it spins. We'll go ahead and try 500. Yes, 500. I'll go ahead and send myself off. Can't see myself. I feel like that's just a bit too fast. So maybe like 400, 300. Let's go 350. Go ahead and try that. Yeah, I think that looks good. That looks fine. Looks good to me. It was completely unnecessary to add this, by the way, but I don't care. We're also going to set this to equals 350 F and make it a private because I want to. Now we shouldn't be able to modify it. Yes, we cannot. And if I go in here, it will still continue spinning. I'm pretty sure if this guy hits the power up, it will also collide. Actually, no, it won't. He doesn't have the player controller script. All right. I would also like it to bob up and down, but I'll do that later if I actually care. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the prefab and see what I'm doing next. I didn't pause it. Alrighty, so there's a couple of things we need to go ahead and do in here. First thing I forgot to show last time, if you go ahead and look down here at the has power up box, if I go ahead and run into the power up, it should check it true. Okay, it ran down, but or it went down. I wasn't paying attention, but has power up is now checked true. Okay, so first thing we are going to need to do is go into our enemy, double click on it, and give it a tag. Name the tag, enemy, save the tag, go back to the enemy, and tag it. This makes it easier to access in the code. And now, while I'm here, I'm also going to double click this and rename this to Power Up, just because I can. Rename file. Prefab file must match the prefab root game object. Do you want to rename both the file for the power up or use name the file because I want it to say power up? Alrighty, now we go ahead and go back to the scene. And the enemy now has a tag, correct? Yes, the tag is enemy. Now we go ahead and go in our player controller script. Can I just open it like that? Yes, I can. And we are making another, well, we're going to be here, making another method. This one is going to be a private, nope, I capitalized it on accident. Private, whoops, whoa, that's a lot of stuff that we don't want. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of that. All right. Private, I hit caps lock. Private, void, and on collision enter. And the reason we are doing an on collision enter this time instead of a on trigger event enter, it is because on collision enter you want to use when you are doing stuff with like more physics, and you want to use on trigger enter when you are doing stuff with just triggers. Because I forgot to say, but this is going to be like when we collide with the enemy itself. All right, now we need to go ahead and add an if statement. If as power up is sort of not really what we need. If object, if collision dot game object, and then we need to dot compare tag, and then compare the tag needs to be add those things. And me. That's why we needed to tag it, because it makes it easier to get. Now we also need to add a space and as power up. We don't need, go ahead and enter there. Oh, whoa. Enter there. Oh, no. Nope. And has power up. If it's going to do that, I'm going to just type it myself. And now we go ahead and add these guys and hit enter. And we do not need to destroy it. At the moment, we are just going to use a debug.log so it can just tell us debug. Is it capital L? I'm pretty sure it's capital. Debug.log. So now it will just tell us when it collides. And string. Oh, I did. I don't know how to spell. How do you spell collided? It has two L's. Dead. That looks right enough. Collided with. Collided with. And then we're doing something interesting that I did not know you could do. If you do this and then plus, you can add strings. Vision. Object. And another plus. Things. Base. With. Power up. Oh, I accidentally put a space in between that with power up. Set to and out of get out of this space plus then has power up. And that's it. It's a very long line of code. I think it's the longest straight line of code that I've typed. And I'm not entirely sure everything that it does, or I know what it does, but I don't know why it does. All right, now if you look down here, right where it says Sunny, um it will be down here in the left corner. It should say something. When we hit the enemy, I'll grab the power up, hit the enemy, and there we go. Collided with enemy, clone with power up set to true. So if we collide with the enemy without the power up set to true, nothing happens because nothing's supposed to happen. Because if we just collide with the enemy, there's nothing special about it. But the power up needs to, well, do what power ups do. And this power up is going to make us have increased like strength and bounce the enemy off harder. That was it for that one. Just give me a couple minutes to find out what to do next. Alrighty. I was supposed to start this in the script. Oh, alrighty. We have a lot of stuff to type this time. We will go ahead and start with adding a new variable, and it is going to be a private float, and the power up. Is that how you spell strength? Oh God, no, it is not. Strength. Strength. How is strength spelled? It's with an E, isn't it? No idea how to spell strength. Hold on, give me it up on my phone. So strength, is that correctly? Correct? Strength. SERGT. Oh, I put GTH strength. Alrighty. Um I should really go back to spell school, also known as just regulars. 0, not 105 or 115. That would be way too strong. All right, now we are going to go ahead and type this in our if statement in here. We'll just go ahead and make some room and get the rigid body. the enemy, so rigid body, enemy, enemy, and then how do you spell rigid body? Rigid body. I wonder why they called it rigid body. All right, equals collision dot game object get component rigid body. That is exactly what we wanted. Thank you, thingy majingy. I'm pretty sure it's what we wanted at least because I memory, but that doesn't matter. Then we do a vector 3. Where is the 3 on my keyboard? How do I not know where the 3? 3 away from. I need to capitalize from player away from player equals collision dot game object. Yes. Not space. Whoa. Don't press buttons you're not supposed to. I forgot to put this into a parentheses, I'm pretty sure. A bracket, I mean. Pretty sure these are called brackets. It doesn't matter. And then, yet again, dot transform dot position and transform dot position, but we do not need player RB. We need minus. There we go. Why is there a period there? Need that. Alrighty, let me look at it really quickly to make sure it's, correct. We got, please get off of that. We have vector 3 away from player, collision, game object, transform dot position, minus transform dot position. Good, looks right. And then we got body, enemy. Saying that the enemy rigid body is wrong. Is it because rigid body's not a real word? I don't think it is. Let's see, what does it say? Unnecessary assignment of the value enemy rigid body. Shut up, I don't care. Alrighty, and then we will go ahead and actually put this code under this thingy. Do this one. Enemy rigid body dot add force. I want to do add explosion force. Add force. And then away from player. Please go back in there. I was not done. And then multiplied by power up strength, comma, and then we want it to be an impulse. So the force mode. Yep. Force mode dot impulse. And that should be it. If it is not, I don't care. I'm going to test it now. And now, if you're wondering, like, oh boy, no boy, what the hell does any of this stuff even do? Well, now, when we pick up the power up, first I will show you what happens. First, when we hit it and don't have the power up, we don't really bounce. I just killed that guy, so I'm going to have to spawn it again. But now, when we pick up the power up and hit him, he bounces really far. Got, I don't know, strength power up. Wee. Alrighty, I think the next thing we're adding is nothing. I don't know. Let me go see. Alrighty, so I found out what we're doing next. The next thing we are going to do is add a timer to this because if you see at the moment, I'll go ahead and click on our ball. Well, no. I need to activate the power up. The whole point of this, activate the power up. it will, if you look down here in the check mark, it will never go away, even when I die. It will continue with or staying true forever. So there will be no like time limit on the power up, which is what I'm trying to say, which is unfair. So we will now not open OBS. We will open the IED, go in our player controller for even more. So much code in the player controller compared to like the spin. I mean, this isn't. I wasn't even supposed to add that, but it doesn't matter. Um, Now what we are going to want to do is, we'll go ahead and add it right here because that's where the dude in the video did it. But actually, no, he did it down here. I'm pretty sure. I don't really think it actually matters, but we will go ahead and I emulate it. No, it's emulator. So I am. Okay, so it's not. Is it enumerator? I think it's this. Um, I'm not gonna check, and I'm just gonna trust that it's right. But what this does is something. I don't know. The guy in the video said that it was not necessary at the moment to explain what it does, but it's very useful because it lets you do like timed things such as wait for 5 seconds or something like that, which is what we want. So we will call this power up count countdown routine, power up countdown routine, and then we will give it the those thingies. And obviously we need to give it that. And that is exactly what we want, basically, sort of. Right here, yield return, new, wait 4 seconds, but we do not want it to be power up strength. We want it to be 5, because we want it to wait 5 seconds. And then we are also going to want to make sure after it does that, it sets as power up to false, which I don't know why it put a space there when it doesn't need it. Now, there is one other thing that we are going to need to do. And in our on trigger enter, we're going to hit enter and then start routine. I don't know how to spell or say that. I don't remember. Whoa, don't do that. And add these guys. And add, if you look down here, we need the I emulator routine. Our countdown routine. And then we're actually going to need to add, I think, these at the end of it, or whoops. Because the add power up actually has those, we also need to add those. And this thingy that I don't remember what it's called, a semicolon. Alrighty, we got a bunch of code that doesn't make too much sense, but if you know what you're looking at, it makes sense. So basically, this starts a counter for 5 seconds, and then once it's done, it sets the has power up to false. And this activates the counter when we collide with a power up. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I don't care. Alrighty. Now, if we go ahead and click on our player Rooney and, whoa, hit the power up down here. If you look down here where the has power up is, it goes away. Hooray. Now let's actually make sure that it actually goes away. Okay, we don't want to hit this dude. Okay, I'm just going to restart this. We need to grab the power up right away and just make sure to avoid that dude. Just because we need to make sure that it actually works. Alrighty. Guess we're not going to find out. Doesn't matter. We'll find out when we code more. Alrighty. I'm gonna add the next thing. Alrighty. So there's actually a decent bit of stuff that we need to do. We are going to want to go into the course library, go into power up indicators, and select an indicator. This would be kind of funny if there was a balloon just chilling above our little dude, but we don't want that. It would be funny, but I don't want it. Well, then there's the selection ring. This is what the guy in the video chose. There's selection ring 3 and 6. I kind of like 6. But also, the 2 is also good. I think I'm going to go 2. Go. And now, if you look, it is very small, which is not what we want. So we shall scale it up to 3, 3, and 3. But now it's too high. I don't want it wrapped around this dude, so we will do negative 0.5. And there we go. Also, is this thing slanted? Nope, just perspective. Can I actually scale the... What would scaling the Y up do? No, I want to scale the Z a bit on this. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to make it a little bit of a thicker star. Yeah, around 3. Let's just go ahead and set it to 3. Just want a little bit of a thicker one. Make it look better. All right. So now, onto the coding part. Or actually, nope, we need to uncheck this box right here in the selection ring. Can't forget to do that, because it makes it invisible. We are also going to call this power up indicator. That does not look correct. Doesn't indicator have an I? Indicator. Alrighty, there we go. Power up indicator. Now into the code. Which code? Player controller. Bet you never would have been able to guess. All right, stop highlighting stuff. It's annoying. Well, first thing we are going to want to do is add a public, whoa, public, and then game object, and this one is power up indicator. I hope it's spelled the same way. I think it is. It does not really matter too much. I hope not. Now, the first thing we are going to want to do is, well, we're going to want to turn on the power up indicator. So in the update method, I sure hope we are going to want to do. Actually, wait, no, we don't do this in the update method. We do this in the on trigger event. Sorry, it's there's just like a bunch of stuff we want it in this if statement. And then we do power up indicator dot game object set active true. That is exactly what we want. All right, now we are also going to want it to set false after this counter. So we will go ahead and do, whoa, control Z, control Z. Yoink, yoink. Power up indicator, and then dot game object equals null. No. Dot set Set. That's not how you spell set. 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 Active. And then we go ahead and do this. And false. There we go. And if you're wondering what these do, when you collide with the power up, now it turns on the power up indicator, and when the power up ends, it turns it off. And now, if we were to test it, I'm pretty sure this should work. If we were to test it, it will do nothing. Congratulations, me. You messed up something. I have no idea what I messed up. You know, it doesn't matter. We'll just go ahead. You know, it might just be because we also didn't, set a position for it to spawn in. So we will go ahead and press Control Z because we don't need another enter. We will do power up indicator dot transform. Whoopsies. Dot transform. And then dot position equals transform dot position. Except we also do want it. If we just did this, it's going to spawn at that stupid angle again where it's like dead in the center of the ball. So we are going to add a plus and then new vector 3. And then we are going to want to give it like the offset. So first do these. I don't know why I didn't do both of them. Usually it does both of those. And then 0, comma, space, negative 0.5, comma, space 0. I forgot to add an F, because that's a float, so it needs 7F. All right. So what we did here is we set the power up indicator as true, and then we set it also to false. And then here gives it the position to spawn at. And if this does not work, it may because, you know what? I just realized why it did not work. I forgot to select power up indicator as power up indicator. Right here in the video, you gotta drag it in. All right, now everything should work. If I just go ahead and go here, awesome. And there I go. Let's go ahead and try that just one more time so we can see it go disappear and everything. We'll grab the power up, see that it works, and I died again. Jeez. We will go ahead and grab the power up, hit it, and the enemy is gone. Wait here, and the power up's gone. And we'll click this, make sure the power up is gone. Awesome. Well, that's it for this video. That's it. So I will do what I do every time. And when I die, that is when the video will end. Oh, give me the power up. Give me the. All right. For you, loser. Oh, there I go. All right. See you next time.